Let's make a headband. Hi, I am Anna from Freaky 4 Yarn, and if you said yes, grab some yarn and a hook and let's get into this. In this project we need DK weight cotton yarn, a 3mm hook, and for the beginners I also recommend using 1 or 2 stitch markers. A quick rundown of what we are going to do in this tutorial. So we are going to start at the end of the tie, which we will make a flower to make it cuter, but if you don't want to do the flower, you can just do a little knot for more of a minimalistic look if that's your thing. We work the tie and then we start working our increases up to the width that we want. We work just straight granny stitch rows without any increases or decreases, and then we decrease mimicking our increases until we get to this point. At this point we do a whole around edge, then the last tie you can make the flower or just leave it at that. And we are going to need, if I'm not wrong, around 50 grams, and you can just make the tie as long or as little as you want. So yeah, now let's get into the tutorial, starting in the flower. We are going to start our project with a 3-petal flower. And for that, I like to get the yarn over my index finger like this, leaving a little yarn tail at the end. And then my hook goes over the yarn, making a loop like this. You secure the loop, then yarn over and make your slip knot. So just pull through and the slip knot is made. Adjust it to the hook. And then to start, we are going to chain 4, so yarn over and chain 1, 2, 3 and 4 like this, and we make a double crochet in that very first chain from the hook, so the 4th chain. So make a double crochet in that chain 1 space. It can be a bit tricky, but you can do it. There you go. And then we chain 2, not 3, not 4, just 2, and slip stitch in that chain that we made the double crochet in, so the same chain. And our first petal is done. For the second petal we chain 3, not 4, 1, 2 and 3, and double crochet 1 in that same chain. Adjust the yarn if needs be, then chain 2 and slip stitch in that same chain space. Then for the third petal is the same thing, so chain 3, double crochet 1 in that chain 1 space, chain 2 and slip stitch in that chain space again, and our 3-petal flower is made. Then to make the tie for our headband, we're going to chain 60 or 80 depending the length you need, and I like to weave in my yarn tail as I chain, as you can see here. It will look a bit wonky, and then you just straighten up aggressively to make it straight again. Our flower and tie are made, and now we are going to double crochet 2 in the 4th chain from the hook. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. And our first row is done. Chain 3 for our second row. You can place a stitch marker in that top chain from the chain 3 where we will make the last stitch from our second row, and you can also put a stitch marker in that top chain from the chain 3 we just made for the last stitch of the 3rd row. So first row is done. We're gonna turn and we will start our second row with an increase, so making 2 double crochets in that very first stitch where the chain 3 comes from, right there. Double crochet 1 and double crochet 2. So we have 1 square of our granny stitch, and then we chain 1. We're going to skip this double crochet here, and we're going to work a double crochet in that chain with the stitch marker. I'm gonna take it off because it's easier for me, and then I yarn over, and then I like to go with the hook part of the needle, and I just scoop over those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through and make the double crochet. And for the next row we will do 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 1, like this one here. We're going to turn, we're gonna skip the very first stitch where the chain comes from, and we are going to make 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space right here.
1, 2, and 3.
So you can see an open square and a solid square. Then we chain 1, we skip those 2 double crochets, and we double crochet 1 in that top chain where you could have the stitch marker. Double crochet 1, like so. And now we have an open square, a solid square, and an open square, and 3 rows. Chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. This counts as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. And double crochet 3 in that open square, the chain 1 space.
1, 2, 3.
And then we chain 1, we skip the solid square, and we double crochet 3 in the chain 4 space, so our open square. And then we chain 3 to make a solid square increase in the next row. So now we have 4 squares, an open, a solid, an open, and a solid. We chain 3, we double crochet 2 in that very first stitch where the chain 3 comes from.
1 and 2.
Our increase is made, so we chain 1, and now we work the granny stitch across. And then on the last chain 4 space, we double crochet 3. And then for the next row, we chain 3, turn, double crochet 2 right in there, and then work the granny stitch all the way across. After our last chain, we double crochet 1 in the top chain from the chain 3. With our increases made, we are now gonna work just the granny stitch across without any increases. So we chain 3, then we turn, we double crochet 2 in our first chain 1 space, and then just keep working the granny stitch all the way across until your last stitch. So you've chained 1, and now you double crochet 1 in that top chain from the chain 3. And that's just a row with no increases. And now we work this row until we have a total of 20 rows. My 20 rows are done, and it should look like this. And now we're going to start our decreases that will mirror our increases that we made at the beginning. So we chain 2, not 3, not 4, just 2. And now we are going to make 2 double crochets together in that chain 1 space. So start your double crochet, pulling through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and make a second double crochet, making only the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops. This mimics 3 double crochets together basically. So we decreased 1, we chain 1 now, and work the granny stitch all the way across. After our last chain 1, we double crochet 1 in that top chain from the chain 3. For the next row, we will repeat the decrease, so chain 2, then make 2 double crochets together. So start the first double crochet, start the second double crochet, and then yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops, making a decrease. Chain 1 and work the granny stitch across. Once we are at our last square, we make only 2 double crochets in the last chain 1 space, and our last double crochet we make in the decrease from the previous row. So as you can see, we are decreasing 1 block at the beginning of each row. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to skip that first block, and we are going to double crochet 3 in the very first chain 1 space, and then work the granny stitch all the way across, making 2 double crochets in the last chain 1 space and 1 double crochet in the decrease from the previous row, like so. Then chain 3 again, it's the same decrease, double crochet 3 in the first chain 1 space, chain 1 and double crochet 1 either on the last double crochet or the top chain 3. I just prefer doing on the double crochet because it's just easier. Then chain 2, double crochet 2 together in that first chain 1 space, chain 1 and double crochet 1 in the last double crochet from the row or the top chain from the chain 3, like so. 2 squares, 1 square left. Moving to our last decrease, we are going to chain 2. We are turning and making a double crochet 2 together, but one double crochet goes in the chain 1 space and the other one on the last stitch from the previous row. And this way we double crochet 3 together. With the heavy work all done, we are now going to make an edge all around and then finishing our work with the final tie and flower. To start the edging, I recommend using a stitch marker, and the first thing we will do is chain 2, place the marker either on that last stitch or just around both chains, just to mark the space where we will make our last stitch. Then we turn our work to the side and we are going to work a single crochet right in that last stitch from the headband. Then we are going to chain 1 and we are going to single crochet 1 in the outer post of that first row. Then we chain 1, so single crochet 1, chain 1 in each row that you've made, all the way around to the other end. On the last row we single crochet 1 and chain 1. Then we are going to work a single crochet 1 and a chain 1 in that very first chain we worked our headband. We pull the tie over the yarn tail and we single crochet 1 and chain 1 in that same stitch. Then we keep working our single crochet 1, chain 1 on each row all the way to the beginning. Okay, I'm at the other end, so I make a single crochet, a chain 1 in that last row, and then we are going to single crochet in that same stitch the edging started, right there. Single crochet 1, and then we are going to slip stitch where the stitch marker is, or just through the loop that the 2 chains made. So a slip stitch and our edging is done. Next we are going to chain the same amount we did at the beginning of our headband, so either 64 or 84, and then I will show you how to make the flower. My tie is done, so let's get this flower done. Yarn over and make a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, right there. One double crochet, then chain 2 and slip stitch in that same chain right there. The next petal we chain 3, we double crochet 1 in the same chain, we chain 2 and we slip stitch in that same chain. 3rd petal will be the same, so chain 3, double crochet 1 in that same chain, chain 2 and slip stitch in that same chain.
As you can see, my yarn is already cut because I had to refilm this part.
With our yarn cut, we are just going to pull the yarn tail through the middle circle, and then we get a tapestry needle so we can weave in our end. We are basically just going to go through all of these loops around the ring so we can tighten it up and make it look a little bit nicer. There is no science to it. You just get as many loops as you can and just keep pulling the yarn tail until you feel like it's nice and secure. You can see I already closed my circle, but I'm still going to go through a few more loops. Once you're happy with it, you can either cut the excess or keep going until there's no more yarn tail showing. And then to tie it, you can either put it in your head and figure out the best length. For me, that's about a hand. And I like to make a knot, a simple knot like this, because if it's a bow tie, my hair will get tangled. And I really don't like that. Before I finish the video, I wanted to show you all the samples I've made. I have a written pattern on Etsy and Ravelry. So if you want to get it, I would really love it, because I don't have my YouTube monetized yet. Hopefully soon though. So yeah, in the pattern, in this tutorial, we made this one, and as you can see, I already worn it, so it's a little bit thinner and a little bit more stretched out. This is the same weight yarn and not worn, so as you can see, there's a little bit of difference in width and length. And I also made only like these little knots in the ties, because the pattern calls for 50 grams of yarn, and I was really afraid I wouldn't have enough, so I skipped the flowers. Then I also made in this mercerized cotton that I really love because it has a little bit of sheen to it, and I've made this more on the winter time, and it's an acrylic in wool like yarn, so it has like a bit of fuzz. And I made the ties a lot longer, so the flowers would peek through like next to my neck or behind my back. And I really love all of them. To make these ones, I basically copied the increases and decreases, and then I just did the length when you don't have to do any increases or decreases to match, and it worked perfectly fine. I also want to tell you that the sweater in the beginning of the video, there's also a pattern for it. It's the Gaia Sweater. It's my pride and joy because it's named after my hometown, and you can also get it on Etsy and Ravelry. And last but not least, this little jar for my stitch markers, I love it, and you could see it in the beginning of the video. Well, I made a tutorial because it's so quick, so I think that will be my next tutorial. Like, it's just a donut, but if you want to see how I did it, you can check my next tutorial. I'm not sure when it's going to be out because I'm still learning how to film and edit, and sometimes takes longer than I expected. Well, not sometimes, all the time. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see anything else from me, and follow me on Instagram, like the video, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Kisses. Bye bye. Mwah.